Remember how far you've come, not how far you have to go. You are not where you want to be, but neither are you where you used to be. Tilda Rick Warren. We're always talking about how we should live in the now and be present. We shame ourselves for looking back at the past or into the future, thinking that we shouldn't look too far ahead or worry about what's to come, and we shouldn't get too caught up in events that have already happened. We want to be focused on being the best person we can be right now. We often forget, though, that it's possible to look at our past with love, not ruminating in it, but appreciating it. We're often so focused on living in the present that we forget to be mindful of where we've been and how far we've come. You could say that I'm a bit of a productivity addict. I love doing things that are beneficial to me in some way. I love the feeling of doing something positive or productive for myself, whether it's squeezing in that extra 30-minute yoga practice or 10-minute meditation, or listening to podcasts or reading the news instead of watching TV. I get so caught up with being a better version of me that I forget to appreciate my current version. Last week when I was walking to work, listening to lines to practice for an audition, I felt this sense of pride. I had always wanted to be an actress growing up. It was my dream to be able to transform into a different character and tell a story through film or television. I wasn't where I wanted to be in my career, but how cool was it that I was actually doing it? I was going to auditions and training with teachers and acting, something that I had dreamed of since I was a kid. This realization then snowballed into this moment, where I looked at my life and said to myself, wow, I've done all these things and I'm living a life I've always wanted. I began to list in my mind the things I have accomplished. I moved away from my home city, a place I hated. I've traveled to many different countries and even seen the pyramids. I went back to school and pursued a career in the arts. I continue to work toward making my childhood dreams come true. I realize that I sometimes get so caught up with my big dreams, like being a published author or working actress, that I forget to recognize all the little dreams I've made come true. Even writing this, I feel a bit embarrassed. A lot of the times it can feel like we're bragging or that we don't have a right to be proud of the things we've done. Maybe we have this feeling that we shouldn't be proud of the things we've accomplished because we aren't where we want to be. But for a daughter of a single mother, who moved to Canada as a Vietnamese refugee, I've come far, and it's important to recognize that. I recently said this out loud to my therapist, but it was different from how it felt in my mind. I had said it to myself with pride, but it didn't really settle in how big that feeling was, to recognize my own journey and how far I've come. When I said to my therapist, I was also speaking it to my deeper self. I felt it in my soul. I said it to my younger self, the preteen, bullied girl who rode the train back and forth to avoid school. I said it to my early 20s, addicted self, and I said it to my current self, look at the things you've made happen. When we speak to our deeper selves and feel this connection with our past, this recognition of our journey, it can be groundbreaking. I had never felt that proud of myself, or that impressed with myself before. I cried and felt this amazing gratitude for my life, my own resilience, and most of all, myself. And again, it can feel so weird to go there, to try to find something to be proud of, or to just be proud of where we are. So, how about we do that check-in with ourselves? How about we look at the past to appreciate it? How about we appreciate our own journeys? Our own resilience? How about we look at the places we've been, the relationships we've formed, the things we've achieved, not with regret or the longing of if only, or what ifs, or I wish I was still there, but wow, I did that. That's where I used to be. That's pretty cool. We can get so caught up looking at where we should be, where we aren't, and where others are in comparison that we forget to appreciate where we've been and where we've come from. This was the first time it really hit me how big this is, and how important it is to celebrate my progress. I felt like I had a true sense of perspective on life as a whole, from the triumphs to the failures, from obstacles to mistakes to perfect coincidences. It's amazing that we're all living and growing, trying to be the best we can be and moving forward every day. It's a beautiful thing to be mindful of the present, but don't forget to honor yourself, your past, and how far you've come. Odds are, it's further than you think. About Rose Nguyen. Rose Nguyen grew up with her head always in the clouds. She is a writer and actress who currently resides in Toronto. She started sexandvegetables.com, a feminist and mindfulness blog. She is currently completing her creative writing degree and working on her first novel, See a Typo, and